Welcome to Frugal with John. Today we're going to get pressure washers ready for storage, or you call it winter storage. I'm going to use two totally separate methods to winterize a pressure washer. Depends what you have at your house. You may choose which ones is best for you. As you can see here, I use this one here for my RV when I get it ready to winterize it. And it's great for that, but not so great for pressure washer, and I'll explain. The pink stuff is made from propylene glycol, ethanol, and then in brackets, ethyl alcohol, or a blend of both. The ethanol is what will damage the O-rings. I've been using this in my RV for years. I have no problems, but it's designed for RVs. Basically, it's RV antifreeze is what this stuff is. So, but it's not for pressure washers. This is basically same company. It's the same thing, still minus 50, but it's a marine antifreeze. Now the blue stuff in this brand, I'm not sponsored by these. What the marine antifreeze is, it's just propylene glycol. There's no ethanol in it. Propylene glycol does not damage O-rings. And plus there's also stuff in there that keeps stuff lubricated. The O-rings lubricated so they don't dry out. The pump so it doesn't rust. Anyway, so if you're gonna put something in your pressure washer, use the marine grade of this. Make sure it's always propylene glycol, not ethanol based. Every time I get 5 gallons of gasoline, I buy Marine's 360. I mix this in with it. Simple fact is, 5 gallons may last me 3-4 months, just for pressure washers and lawnmowers. And if it sits around, it's better to have it in than not have it in. But when I store stuff like a pressure washer or a snowblower, I'll put the canned fuel in. Simple fact is, there's no ethanol in here, and this stuff you can let it sit for 2 years. It's not going to eat and gum up your carburetor and gel it up. So before I get these ready, I'm going to drain both tanks and fill it up with the canned fuel. I'm using True Fuel, but you can use whatever can you want. And I found this works better than just treated gasoline. Gasoline nowadays, with all that ethanol and whatever else they don't put in it anymore, it doesn't last. Okay, there's one thing you're going to notice when I get these ready for winter that I don't have to do because I don't use them, which is the tank for the different solutions for soap or what have you. I just don't use that part of the pressure washer. I just use it for basically water. And I use a foam cannon for anything that I want. If I want soap on something or something to clean the deck, I run everything through a foam cannon. Like I say, so I don't have to go through and clean out the hose and the water or the soap that's left inside the containers. This one has one. This one is just basically a hose that goes into your, I don't know if you can see it there. It's just a hose that goes into your container. Simple fact is, when you use it, you have to use something like this, which you got no pressure. So if you're doing something high, a window in a house, it won't reach it because there's not enough pressure, because in order to get a vacuum to suck out your soap, it just doesn't shoot far enough. Step I don't have to follow, but if you use yours, you would have to drain it, flush it out, and then make sure it's winterized. Okay, let's see how much fuel is in here. I'm gonna take this screen out. Okay, let's get this screen out. We'll put it over here for now. Just gonna use one of these cheap things I got lying around. Looks good. Oh, that'd be going into my container, go into my lawnmower or my garden tractor. And I'll leave that loose up here because I'm going to take the bolt out of the carburetor and drain the carburetor and whatever's left in the tank. Yeah, so the carburetor's right here, and there's a bolt right there. The one that holds the bolt in is the bottom, and this is just for a drain. I'm just going to grab this and I'm going to suck it out. Okay, that's it. I just call it canned fuel, True Fuel, whatever. And that's about a half a tank. So I'm just going to drain this one. So I'm going to shut this off for now. You don't need to see 2 pressure washers being drained of fuel. Anyway, I'll do both of them. Sun's starting to go down. While I'm waiting, I just figured I'd bring you over, and I just had some tires installed at Costco last week. That one's not bad, it's close. I don't know if you can see the problem. Let's go to another one. The green dot down here, red dot there, valve stem here. Put in the comments what do you think they did wrong. And here's another one. Red dot here, valve stem here, green dot here. Anyway, I may take them back and have them remount it because there's an awful lot of weight on there. I'm getting impatient. There's a massive cloud right there. Most of it's in the sun, or sorry, most of it's in the shade, but anyway, we're gonna get this going. Okay, now we're just going to take this out of here and just do the driveway with the other one, just to get the fuel through the carburetor and flush it. On, I'll try the choke. So, fuel, carburetor, it's got all the canned fuel in it, so I should be good for at least 2 years without even using this, but I still got to put the antifreeze in it. Right here I'm going to link where I did this pressure washer and put on all the quick disconnects. And I had mentioned that this was way too close, and I took a closer look at it. You can click on the video and I'll show you. Somebody actually mounted the engine in the wrong spot on the base plate. So anyway, I took it off and I moved it back, and now I got plenty of room. So I think I will put eventually I will put a disconnect right here, but for now I'm just going to do all this hooked up to do the winterization. Okay, so we're back. Canned fuel through all the carburetors, all the water's flushed out, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways, but within those couple of different ways I'm going to show you different ways of doing it, because not everybody has a compressor. Somebody may have a vacuum. Anyway, so I'm going to take this one out of the way for now. I'm going to bring this one in. I'm going to start with this one. You see, I already had this stretched out. I'll do it again just to show you. I usually, before I do it, if I'm not going to put antifreeze in them, I'm just going to blow them out with the air compressor, or you can also do it with blowing them out with the vacuum cleaner, shop vac, whatever you want to call it. So let's stretch this out first. Okay, so your best bet is when you extend your hose, just have it on a slight slope down as you lift it up. But before I do that, I'm just going to blow some air into it. If you don't have a compressor, it doesn't hurt. Just take a shop vac. Instead of sucking out, you can suck it out, or you can blow it. I'm just going to blow it out. Like I said, there's 2 ways of doing it, a compressor or whatever. And as you're reeling it up, just make sure you go nice and high. Let it sit for a bit, let all the water drain out. This hose is really stiff. Okay, so I'm just going to get this out of my way. I'll put this over here. Anyway, so the water's out of this. Actually, when I was getting set up, I was talking to a neighbor, and he was saying that he ruined a pressure washer from leaving it in his garage in the winter. He says the handle just blew out on him. I had one when I was younger, years and years ago. I left in the garage not knowing any better. Say older and wiser now, but what happened was I just it was an electric one, I put it in the garage, and it cracked the aluminum on the pump. I made this. Now they do sell them. I'll put a picture up here of one that you can actually purchase, but I just had this lying around, and I had these because it's for my air tools. Anyway, so I just put some solder on there and I just made it. But easier to buy them. But I already had all this stuff. So you just screw that on to the water inlet. Yeah, this compressor, I got it set at 55 PSI. That way You don't want to do 120 psi into the motor because water normally runs about 40 to 60. And it could ruin something. So you just take that. And I was going to say, make sure the off switch is in the off position, or pull the spark plug. And I'm just going to turn it over slightly just to get everything turning and get all the water out of it. And I'll leave links in the first comment and the description of stuff like this. Not this one, because like this one I made, but the ones you can buy. And at the same time, you can blow out. This one here has this handgun. Make sure you blow these out too, because these will actually, they do a split inside. As you make sure you pull the handle. You pull the handle down when you do it. So we'll get that out of here. Like I said, same thing. If you want to save some money, you don't want to buy one of these, or don't have one of these, don't have an air compressor, you can use the same thing as a shop vac. Just blow it inside here and it will clean out as best you can. This just doesn't work as good. I'm going to use this to pump it through. You don't need it. You just use a hose and dump it in the hose and lift it up, or put a jug on top of the hose. Almost empty, but alcohol, so I'm not going to use it. There's still a little bit left. I use that when I clean stuff up before I go to paint. I'm almost out though. So you can fill it up. This going into here, and then you turn around and you'll be filling this side. And when it's done, then you just hold it tight, seal it, tape it, whatever, and just come down here and just squeeze this to push the antifreeze through it. Or you can buy the, I'll put a picture of the little ones you can buy, and you can squeeze it in yourself. And just keep many different ways of doing it. Like I say, if you want to do it the cheapest possible, or you just want to buy something that works, I'm just going to use this because I have this. And this pump works really well when you have a pressure washer. You can't take the hose off because it's all seized up. Or you take it off and you could damage something, so you leave the hose on. This pump will actually pump it right through the hose and everything. So that way you're good. Put this in here. And I'm just gonna show you how it works. Make sure that's tight. It's just a small end with two different styles of repair clamps on there. I have a small leak in my bucket. It's okay. I'll just put this here and I'll just put it on for a bit, not long. Again, I'm going to turn the engine over a bit just to make sure I got everything in it. And I'll add a bit more and then this will be done. And while this is doing that, you can also, if you can, reach over and turn the engine over at the same time. Make sure you get it everywhere. So this one's ready for winter or just ready for storage. So because I have two of them now, it's basically ready for storage in the middle of summer right now. I'm just doing a video at a time. Anyway, so this one's done. I can put this one away and I'll bring the other one out and I'll show you just a different way to do it. Sometimes they say the hoses do stick on, or they're kind of seized on, you can't get them off, or you don't want to take all the hose apart. There's another way of doing it. Okay, I'm going to address the leaking bucket. How's that go? There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. We're back. I fixed the hole in the bucket. Like I say, this one I'm leaving the hose and everything hooked up. Because we're doing that, you got to stretch it out just to get all the kinks out of it. So bear with me while I unravel all this. So I got my hose flat on the ground so the water can come out a lot easier instead of getting caught up. You have to keep the handle open on it. So I'll just find something that'll fit there. I'll use a bit of painter's tape. Okay, so the handle's open. I'm just going to put that over here so you can see it. Again, make sure the engine switch is in the off position, because I will be also turning this one over. If this video helped you in any way to save a bit of money and not ruin a perfectly good pressure washer, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe and hit the bell. So we verified the engine switch is in the off position, my makeshift air hookup. Now this may be a good time before you do all this, just as soon as you bring it in after using it, to change the oil, but the oil on this, both of these were just changed. So, and then you add your air to it, 55 PSI. You can see it. And I'll turn the engine over again just to make sure I got everything. You can try that with the shop vac. I'm not going to do it this time, and you would only do this if this is seized on there and you can't get it off. Other than that, it's a lot easier taking the hose off. So I'm just going to leave it on to show you it can't be done, and fill the whole thing up with antifreeze. Let me screw this back in. Again, I told you there's many ways of doing this. I'm just using this overpriced motor because I've had it for years. Somebody gave it to me years ago. We're going to make a mess because it's going to come through the motor and out the gun. And you start to see the antifreeze coming out. And I'll turn the motor over again. Let's get this out of the way and let it drip, and then I'll be back. I'll just roll the hose up, take the tape off of this, and I didn't mention, but you got to make sure when you do this, you take the spray nozzle off it. You don't do it with these nozzles in there. It's just too much, be way too much resistance. Both of these are good for, I'd say, with the fuel I put in there, I'd say easy 2 years without even touching them. And they should start without an issue, without even damaging the carburetor. And they're not going to freeze. You store them in your garage in the winter. Anyway, if you like the video, appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching my channel. Bye for now.